Hi, thanks so much for tuning in. It's Jill and Sandra, and we are here in my kitchen today, and we're going to show you how we make a nettle infusion.
Yeah, so happy to be here, Jill.
I'm glad
in
you're here.
person.
Yes,
After 2 years of not being able to be in person.
it's so nice to see you.
It's good being here in
Not just over Zoom.
in your new kitchen too.
Yes.
So, Jill, you want to introduce yourself, who you are for my viewers?
So I am a holistic nutrition consultant. I love to play around with food, helping women who are moving through menopause, in treatment for cancer and post-treatment.
Wow, that's great. And I am also a holistic nutrition consultant, and I love to help women to understand how to deeply nourish themselves through the use of food and also Ayurvedic lifestyle. I love to work with how the elements of nature, the earth, water, fire, air, and space, how those are reflected in the foods that we use and how that nourishes us ourselves very deeply.
And I've learned a lot from you, Sandra. I love talking to you about Ayurvedic nutrition and those elements you literally infuse and bring to life, but we're going to talk about today.
Okay,
so let's do it. Yes.
Okay, so let's see. So this is about nettle infusion. Now, you might all be familiar with nettle tea. Okay, so here we have a little nettle leaf tea bag, and the way this is normally made is you just put it in some hot water, you let it steep for 2 or 3 minutes, and then you drink it, and you get a shock from the taste of it because nettle is quite earthy, and drinking it hot apparently is not the best way to drink it. It's actually much tastier and palatable, I guess, if you drink it cold. So the other thing is that nettle, in order to be to have a nourishing effect on the body, in order to get the amount of nutrients out of it that we need, we have to use a very large amount of nettle leaf, dry nettle leaf. You can also make it with fresh, but fresh is only available in the early spring. Let's look at how to do a nettle infusion, which is quite a different process from making just a cup of tea.
Yes, so we needed to have a large bottle, glass bottle, some nettle, dry nettle leaves, some hot water, a spoon,
boiling hot water.
Yeah. And this is already made, and we are going to decoct it, strain it, and have a drink as well.
Okay.
So what should we start with first?
Okay,
do we want to strain?
So let's pretend we didn't have enough to do 2 batches of nettle infusion. So what you would do is you would start with 1 full cup of dry nettle leaf. Okay, so 1 full cup. That's a lot of nettle leaf. So you want to buy it in bulk, and you put the leaf into your jar. This jar is normally we use a jar that is 1 liter or 1 quart. So this is a little bit small, but it's okay for demonstration purposes. So 1 cup of dry nettle leaf. If you have one of those nice wide mouth funnels, it helps to fill the nettle leaf into the jar. And then you pour the boiling water. Put your spoon in first, so you don't break the jar, because that helps to absorb some of the heat from the water. So you will see then the nettle leaf will be kind of moving around. It almost becomes alive. And then you cap it. Okay, if you have a rubber ring cap, you want to make sure that you turn that over. Like if you're using a mason jar with a rubber ring cap, turn that rubber to the other side, otherwise it seals tight.
Right.
Yeah, so here's the rubber. So you put it on upside down instead of the way you would do for canning, and then you seal it.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you want it to be more flavorful, you can put a mint tea bag in And that really helps the flavor.
Yeah, that's all we did for this one.
Yeah.
And
then you would let it infuse for at least 4 hours or overnight, but at least 4 hours. And then you get to the point where it wants to be strained. If you don't have time to strain it right away after it's infused, you can just put it in the fridge with all the nettle leaf in there. And then when you're ready to strain it, then you can drink it. It stays in the fridge only for 2 days.
okay.
Otherwise, it starts to ferment. So you want to drink it quite quickly. So we're going to
strain it,
strain
and
it.
then we're going to talk about the benefits and
Yeah.
why we should really, how this can help us on so many levels in our life. So I'm just going to show this closer to the screen, to the camera. You can almost see, you can see the nettle leaves at the bottom. And then here's the rich tonic, so to speak. And it's going to be hard to see, but the mint tea bag is in there. So at this point, just go ahead and strain.
Go ahead.
No need to use a spoon and mix it.
No. Just dump it all in through the strainer.
The strainer will catch
Let all the leaf come out.
Okay.
Yeah, tap it right down. There we go. So you can see the amount with the tea bag is in here too. There's quite a bit of leaf in there. So then what you do is you press it then, Jill.
Okay. It smells good.
It smells very fresh and green.
Really nice.
Nettle leaf has more nutrients in it than even what's it called, that green blue algae.
Yes.
Is that what it's called? Yeah, which to me tastes very fishy, and I cannot stand the taste of it. Okay, so she's well pressed out. You want to get all of the nutrients out, and then we'll give it a taste
Move this over
and talk about the benefits.
Well, you can really smell the mint, and it's a very dark brown infusion. It's not necessarily called a tea because we've infused the leaves in the hot water.
Yeah, so you want to drink it cold, nettle infusion. So that's why we put it in the fridge. It's much more palatable that way, and you can also improve the flavor by putting, some people like it salty, so you can put a bit of miso in.
Miso, M-I-S-O.
M-I-S-O, blonde, the light colored miso is better than the dark.
Okay.
It's less heavy taste. If you want it sweeten it at all, don't put in honey, because honey is just does not go well at all with it. Some people have used a little bit of apple juice, let's say, but it's a very earthy flavor, so it's considered like a savory drink.
Definitely.
I like it just with the mint, but some people like to put the miso in, something salty. All right, Jill.
Let's
Wanna
have
give
a
it
little
try?
sip. Well, that's lovely. And it is refreshing cold.
Because you've only had the nettle tea, right?
Exactly.
Which is hot.
Which was hot and tastes like bark and green leaves. And that's good. Like, you know that you're nourishing yourself. So this is very fresh and it feels like a spring tonic. And I love it because it's full of trace minerals.
Full of trace minerals.
Full.
Okay, let's look at what's in
Yeah.
it. Okay, so let's see. It's got anti-cancer selenium, immune enhancing sulfur, memory enhancing zinc, diabetes chasing chromium. This is from the herbalist Susan Weed, by the way. Bone building boron, and tons of calcium. So a quart of nettle infusion has more than 1,000 milligrams of calcium.
That's an incredible source, especially if we're focused on plant-based eating.
Yeah.
So whether we're vegetarian, vegan, we appreciate, eat animals.
Yeah.
This is a wonderful plant.
Yeah, you have to find your sources of calcium, and this is excellent source. It also has 1 quart of infusion. It has 1,500 units of vitamin A, 760 milligrams of vitamin K, 10% protein in 1 quart. So who would have thought that, a liquid would contain protein, but this one does. And the protein and the calcium complement each other. And then lots and lots of different B vitamins, except for B12. So you're really being nourished deep down to the bones. So Nettle nourishes the bones and the red blood cells.
So that can be used in so many instances. And the women we work with, really, this is something they could benefit from,
Definitely,
right? At any age,
definitely.
especially, 40, 50, 60, 70 plus, 80
Yeah.
plus, and just wanting to keep our bones strong.
Bone strong, and this has such an amazing other benefit is that it gives profound energy and stamina when you drink Nettle infusion regularly. So like 3 or 4 quarts a week, you'll notice it in quite a short time. You'll notice a difference in the change of your energy, and also you'll be sleeping better and your mood will be lifted. So that's how deeply it nourishes us in so many different ways.
Yeah. So
we can't do without it, really.
we can't do without it. And there's no caffeine. So it's not a stimulant, even though it is energizing in the sense of nourishing deep within organs, tissues, like Sandra said, the red blood cells. And therefore, it's okay to have this at any time of day.
Yeah, it is. Yes. It'll help you sleep better, actually, if you have it at night. What else do we want to say? Anything? Let's see.
I'm
just check
starting
notes.
menopause, and I'm going to be adding this into my regimen, especially in the springtime and the changes of seasons. Definitely for that energy piece, the red blood cells, helping with, that would in turn hopefully help with iron and ferritin status in the body. Can't promise things like that, but all of these trace minerals as well.
Yeah.
Because we may not be getting that enough in our diet.
We definitely aren't. Definitely aren't, because our food is so depleted these days because the soil is depleted. So the food is lacking in the nutrients, especially minerals. So we need to have, an arsenal really of concentrated food, concentrated nutrients. And the Nettle tea provides that for us. The other thing is you want to drink it long term. It's not something that you drink just seasonally, although it will help in the spring, especially with allergies. It's very, very effective if you start before allergy season, drinking your infusion, 3 quarts a week, let's say. It'll really calm that inflammatory response that comes from with allergies. Just make it part of your life. Your body will know, right, when you've had enough. You might want to take a break for a little while, and then just keep it in your cupboard, because your body will start to crave it again. But don't go too long, right? We don't want to get depleted. Yeah.
Really good post-recovery from any type of treatment or surgery.
I actually went through cancer treatment, and I drank Nettle tea during my cancer treatment, during the chemo. Wow. It helped a lot. Yeah.
Good for you. And you know what? Our viewers, anyone watching this is going to say, where can I get Nettle? Where can I source this? And I think that's the last thing to mention, is where you found yours and where I found mine. So I went to my local health store where I know that they have bulk herbs, dried and fresh. In the past, I have seen fresh nettle for sale at a farmer's market in the spring. So you do have to search for that. And so do a Google search, whatever area you live in, and just see, ask a farmer, ask an herbalist, ask, your neighbors and friends, if they know of anyone who has nettle. You may have some out in your backyard, don't even realize it. You can grow it yourself.
You can, you need to grow quite a bit to get the amount of dry herb that you need. Fresh nettle can be used also you don't want to use fresh nettle for an infusion. You can, but it's not going to be as concentrated as the dry. But you can use fresh nettle tops. You can just steam them like spinach. You can use them in quiche. So any place that you would use a vegetable like spinach, you can replace it with nettle, frittatas, things like that.
Nice.
It does have that intense sting to it. It's not that the hairs on the nettle sting, it's that they have a particular acid in them, like an ant sting, that gets right into the skin and it feels stingy. So this is one thing we forgot to mention is the effect of nettle on the kidneys. It has an electromagnetic property, nettle, because of all of the hairs.
Yeah.
And so that is it's attracted to the kidneys for some reason, and the adrenal glands. And so this is why it gives us so much stamina and energy. It's because it really supports and strengthens the kidneys and the adrenal glands.
I can't think of any human that does not need that.
Yeah.
Strengthening.
Especially as we get older, right? As we grow older. The other place you can get dry nettle is look online, just Google it. You want to get maybe a pound of it, half a pound, so you have a good stock, so you can make your infusion regularly. I have gotten mine from Herbes Herbs in Toronto online. You can just order it online. HERBIES, Herbes Herbs. So that's another place. And I'm sure there's other places also that you could find online to buy bulk nettle. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Well, we're going to finish drinking our nettle infusion, and we are going to be super women by the end of the day, energy wise. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to comment around this video. Get in touch with us through the video details. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thanks so much for being here. We need to do this more often.
Yeah,
what
that's a great idea.
treat this is.
Wonderful. Bye
Thanks,
for now.
Sandra. Okay, bye everyone.